This is Providence Television International, the game changer. Hello again, it's nice to have you with us on another program of Prime Movers. This is one of our prominent programs, very prominent programs on this station, and for obvious reasons. Today we're going to have a very, very interesting guest. I'll tell you about that in just a moment. But we have had some letters coming in. These four particularly were very interesting to me. One from Kingsley Olorunfemi from Ikorodu, telling us you like our program so much that you're becoming an addict. Thank you very much, Kingsley. Stanley Imuwahe, that's from Edo State, obviously, is from Oslo, Norway. Jessica Dibia, this is particularly interesting, from Stockholm in Sweden. And Jessica, you said something that was particularly fantastic, that said you would love to, you and your friends actually, you would love to see me in Stockholm, Sweden one of these days. Oh, I wouldn't mind that. Stockholm, it's a city I would love to visit, at least for summer. I've been to Gothenburg in Sweden, but I've never been to Stockholm. So it would be very nice if I can have a return ticket from you over there. That would be very wonderful indeed. And then Fred Okechukwu from Brisbane, Australia. Thank you very much. You said you liked our program on the Pope. When the new Pope came in, we did a program on him, and you said you loved it so much. Thank you very much, Fred. We hope to be hearing from you from time to time. Now, back to our program. Our guest today is a wonderful human being. Started from nowhere. What you call from grass to grace. You will know the reason in just a moment. He is Dr. Osage Idemudia, Assistant Dean, School of Basic Medical Science, University of Benin. That's our guest for today. And he started from nowhere. But today, he's almost getting to the pinnacle of his career. Very soon we'll be talking about a professorial chair, very hopefully. So, Dr. Idemudia, nice to have you with us on the program.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed.
I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Today you have a PhD.
I have a PhD already.
Yes, in what area of medicine?
Anatomy, specifically neuroanatomy.
Neuroanatomy.
Yes, sir. Neuroanatomy.
That's a new one, or it's always been there?
It's always been there.
Okay.
It's always been there.
Good.
Only that most people dread that area because of the complexity.
Right.
Yes, neuroanatomy. It deals with the brain. Deals with the brain.
Good.
Yes.
So you went back after your MBBS?
Yes.
Then you had your master's?
I had my master's.
And then the PhD?
I had a PhD.
Good. In other words, good. You are cut out for teaching?
Yes.
Good.
For teaching.
So you are now...
I'm in academics.
You are in academics?
Yes.
Good.
Despite my MBBS background. I decided to take to academics.
Beautiful.
Because as academics, lecturing has always been my passion. Even when I started my medical career as a nurse.
As a nurse?
Yes.
So
in fact, my interest in neuroanatomy started when I was a nurse. I've always developed interest in neuroanatomy. So when I found myself in academics at the university, so I decided to shift to that area also.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Really?
Yes, sir.
You started as a nurse?
Yes.
But take us back still. How did you start it up?
As a nurse?
No, not as a nurse.
Okay, how I
growing
started.
up.
Okay, growing up. It's a long story. I was brought up by my uncle, who is late now. In fact, my life history is not complete without him. I was a toddler in the village when he came to meet my father those days in the village, that he would like to pick me up. So he picked me from the village from my father. He brought me to Benin. So I'm talking about late Chief Arawa Asemunta.
Good.
He lives at Cemetery Road, First Sekula.
Oh.
That is where I grew up.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So he was a very, very popular Benin chief, and he was very popular in the Oba Palace.
Good.
He was a blind man.
Oh, yeah?
I used to follow him to Palace those days before he finally passed on about so many years ago at the age of 110.
Beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah,
He was a traditional person.
He was a renowned traditional chief and also a traditional healer.
Were you into those herbals?
Yes,
stuff?
I was his Hambija. Yes, what I mean by Hambija, I was the one going to the bush, the forest,
to pick up herbs.
to pick up herbs. So I said he was a blind man.
Yeah.
So I would go to the village, bring those. He would tell me their names. I would go to the forest, harvest them, bring them. He will now tell me how to prepare them and their subsequent applications. So I was also into herbs.
Oh, and you knew the efficacy of
I
this
knew
herb.
the efficacy, very, very effective. In all the areas.
Really?
All the areas. This reproduction, protection, healing, in all the areas that have to do with human system.
Really?
So we were into it,
I see.
and it was really working those days.
And you were also into pounding those herbs?
I prepared them. I prepared them. The one we need to pound, the ones we need to burn on the fire and all that. Now apparently blend is prepared. So I was the one doing it.
Really?
I was the one in charge. I was the one doing it.
And the old man trusted you so much?
Oh, very, 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 very. That's what he's been able to call a wise. I was his wise. That's a Hambija. Yeah, it's like his cap metal bearer to him. So he trusted me so much. Trusted me so much.
Some of those things that he taught you, you didn't develop them after he passed on?
I didn't because I would say because of my Western orientation. And when he passed on, my father also passed on in the village. So there was nobody for me to go and meet in the village. So that also discouraged me.
You were orphaned at a very young age?
Yes, not really young age, because I lost my mom about 4 years ago now.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
It was my dad I lost at a very, very tender
Tender
age. Yes, when I was still very small.
Mm.
In fact, in the primary school those days.
Okay.
Yes.
So what did life teach you?
Life actually taught me that in whatever you are doing, it's very good to be focused. Very good to be focused and be determined. If you are focused and you are determined and you have faith in whatever you are doing, I think there is no way you will not achieve your goal. Yeah, that is what life has taught me so far. It may be rough, but by the time you are resilient, you have a goal, you are focused, you definitely come out well. Yes, that's what life has taught me. It has not been easy, but today I'm where I am now because of resilience and focus, and because I also have faith. And God, I also be happy me. Yes, it has not been easy.
So today you are the dean, assistant dean.
I'm the
actually.
assistant dean.
Can we have that picture?
I'm
You
the
are in
assistant dean of School of Basic Medical Science.
Yes, that's you there in the academic gown.
Exactly.
Okay.
That was what I convocated when I had my PhD. Yes, and this PhD I had, that was last year now. I can also talk about my PhD without my mentor. And the person that supervised my PhD project
Yes.
is the present the present head of Department of Anatomy now.
Okay.
He is Dr. Adaze Enogeu.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a foreign trained neuroanatomist. He was the one that that supervised my PhD program.
Okay.
In fact, my PhD project or program, it was very smooth. Within 4.5 years, despite COVID lockdown and 8 months as we strike, I was done within 4.5 years.
Oh, really?
Yes.
For the PhD program?
For the PhD program.
Good.
And I'm proud to say that I'm his first PhD program when he came back from South Africa, where he trained as a neuroanatomist. Yeah, he's a very wonderful man.
Oh, dear.
Very wonderful, very dynamic, and very progressive. Very progressive. And in fact, if you see what he's turning anatomy department into now in the University of Benin, you'll be very surprised. Very surprised.
And he's very proud of you as well.
Yeah, oh, very proud of me, and I'm also proud of him.
Good.
So I cannot talk of this PG program without him.
Without him.
Yeah, just as I cannot talk about my progression in life without my late uncle who brought me up,
Chief Asemuta.
Chief Asemuta. Yes,
Beautiful.
yes. My
Beautiful.
life history will not be complete without him. Yes.
Well, how did you go through school, in spite of the obvious disadvantages?
Yeah. Which of my
Secondary school and all of
primary school,
primary school,
secondary
and all
school.
of that.
Okay, like I said earlier on, he came to the village and he picked me up when I was very young. He brought me to Benin, to his house, called his brother, one of his brother, who was the then headmaster in Western Boys High School, along Secondary Secular, very close to New Market.
Okay.
Was the headmaster there. He told me that this is my child. Go and put him in. I think it was primary 4 then. Go and put him in primary 4. So the man just said, "Okay, tomorrow come and see me." I went there without asking me my names. He already know his brother's name, so he enlisted me with his brother's name.
Oh.
Enlisted me with his brother's name, Asemuta. It's Asemuta, but my father's name is Idemudia.
Yes.
So my primary school certificate now is bearing Asemuta.
Really?
Yes. So he enlisted me as Asemuta. So, but that didn't mean anything. So when my father now came to town, came to Benin, as I told him, when I showed him my result, and somebody now told him that now Asemuta and I be named. My father said, "No, don't bother. Don't leave it. The name doesn't mean anything."
Oh.
I continued. Graduated from primary school, entered secondary school. And when I was to enter secondary school, it was not easy. Then you had to write what they call primary 6 living entrance or so for you to get admission to secondary school. So I wrote I didn't pass. I applied to go to Edo College and Western Boys High School. I didn't pass my entrance to secondary school. And I was growing. I was very big in size. So I was very big in size, and I said I didn't get the admission. All my age category in the house, they all got admission. Then my uncle called me one day. I said, since you didn't get admission, why not go and learn work? I said, Daddy, I won't learn work. In school, I want to go.
Oh, dear.
He said, okay, no problem. So when it was midterm break for that first term, he took me to one village school, the Country Grammar School, to be very precise, along Agbo Road. So took me to the headmaster. I can remember his name now. It's Mr. Egbohari. So he gave me a trans examination. Fortunately for me, I passed. That was how I got admission to the Country Grammar School, where I started before I graduated. When I graduated, I also left secondary school. I did also pass the JAMB exam for me to enter university. So I said, okay, instead of remaining at home, he suggested that I should go and seek admission to School of Psychiatric Nursing, Uselu. So I don't have any reason to disobey him. So I just said, okay, Daddy, no problem. I went there, I wrote the entrance, and I passed, and I entered School of Psychiatric Nursing, Uselu, a 3 years program there. So I entered, and within that 3 years stipulated period, I graduated. So I graduated from there after 3 years. I have the ambition to proceed to go and do my general nursing in UBTH. There was no money. I didn't want to bother the old man. So and I said, okay, what I have to do now is to work for a while and save some money for me to be able to buy the application for to School of Nursing UBTH, which I did. Then his son, the elder son, who is a medical doctor, who was at hospital that time, McTell International Hospital at Ogiso Street off Teddy Secular. So he said, okay, I should come there. I went there. I was working. I was working. The money he was paying me, I was saving. That was where I met my late wife. My wife is late. May also rest in peace.
Yes, let's have the picture there.
So,
yeah, okay. That's your wife.
That's my wife,
yes. Yes.
She came there. She just left secondary school then. So she came there to do auxiliary nursing. So I developed interest in her and I spoke to her.
Are you serious?
Yes.
So nursing brought both of you together?
Yes. It brought two of us together.
Oh, yeah.
Very amazing woman.
Oh.
So she came there to do auxiliary nursing. So because I fell in love with her, and I said, okay, you won't stop at this level. She just left secondary school. And she didn't also complete her papers, make her papers at secondary school level. I said, I want you to also take to nursing. Say, okay, no problem. So with the small money I saved there, it was still very cheap to enroll for GCE those days. So I just enrolled for GCE. And she wrote the GCE and she passed. So me, I already finished my psychiatric nursing that time. I told her. So I also bought form for her. That was how she also found herself in School of Psychiatric Nursing Uselu.
Oh,
So
really?
she entered. She entered. By this time, when she entered, I have already completed my general nursing in UBTH. She was now in Psychiatric Hospital Uselu School of Nursing. Me, and I got my appointment with the Edo State Hospital Management Board. I was working. I was sponsoring her. So she finished her psychiatric nursing Uselu within the stipulated period of time. So, and I said, okay, you have to proceed. She went to UBTH, general nursing also, and she was in UBTH. While she was in UBTH, I left Edo State Hospital Management Board and I got my appointment with UBTH as a double qualified nurse.
Psychiatric and general
nursing as a double qualified nurse. So she was there, and I was also the one still sponsoring her. The parents were aware, and in fact, we were not living together. We were cohabiting. Let me use that word.
Yes,
so
right.
we were living together. So she finished, and by His grace, when the Uselu Psychiatric Hospital were to employ staff nurses, I approached one or two persons, and my request was granted. So she got an appointment with Psychiatric Hospital Uselu, and she was working. So it got to a stage we had to prepare for the proper marriage, which we did. We did. I paid her bride price, and we're not properly living together. So around 1998, and I said, okay. After I paid her bride price, and I said, okay, I won't stop here. And I saw the dream of going higher in my education. So okay, I want to go to medicine, because medicine has been my dream
all along,
right from secondary school. Though it wasn't a straight movement. I wrote JAM. I went back to JAM class again. Received JAM lectures, and I passed my JAM, and that was how I started my medical career.
For MBBS.
MBBS, for my MBBS.
You must have been one of the oldest in your.
Yeah, I was the only. In fact, my name is Epa. They were calling me Epa. Even up till now, my classmates, when they see me, they still give me that respect.
Because they were young.
Very small, very young, very young. We were like 3 or 4 in that category. One read pharmacy before in Ife, and he came to read medicine direct entry. Another one was a military person. He was a military person. He also came to read medicine. So the 3 or 4 were always moving together. So they call
as the eldest.
As the eldest. So they were always calling out the 3 wise men. So
those little kids.
Those were small, and they respected us. Even those ones that started see me, once you mention a pa now, they know that you are referring to me. So they still call me a pa.
So you made it through MBBS.
Through MBBS.
Oh,
so it was not easy.
That's
it
wonderful.
wasn't easy at all.
And meanwhile, at that point, you were already a parent now.
I was already a parent. Yeah, and I had a child.
Oh.
Yeah, 1999. To be precise, May, we had our first child. So my wife was working. Got to say when it became very tough. So in fact, there was no help from anywhere.
Yes.
Myself and my wife, we were just together. She was not the only one working.
Yeah, because you were in school.
I was not in school. I have to resign my appointment with UBTH
okay.
because I couldn't go when I now entered 300 level in medicine. So it was no longer easy because you had to go to war for clerking, practicals, and so on and so forth. So she was not the one working, feeding the house, and also paying the house rent.
She was virtually the breadwinner.
Yeah, she was the breadwinner. Yes. So there was no help coming from myself, my family, and even from her family. Therefore, we were just alone like that. So manage. Before I completed my medical school. So completed my medical school, did my hard job in Central Hospital. When I now completed my hard job at Central Hospital, so I was now waiting for appointment. So before I now heard that Uniben were recruiting academic staff that into School of Nursing, their School of Nursing, so that I should apply as a double qualified nurse, which I did. So because I got it, and when I resumed there, the staff there said that I don't have a BSc degree in nursing, and as such, I'm not qualified to teach their students. And I said, okay, where do I go? The then dean of School of Basic Medical Science, I should choose between anatomy, medical biochemistry, and physiology. So because of my interest in anatomy, I now choose to go to anatomy department. So I was issued a second letter of appointment by the management of Uniben to go and resume work in anatomy department. That was how I found myself in anatomy department as an academic staff. So where I'm still today.
Good.
Yes, I got there, and before you can proceed as an academic staff, you have to have your master's and you have to have your PhD.
Good.
So I got, and when the time came for me to now register for my master's, I did. And my area of specialization of what I researched on in my master was reproductive anatomy.
Reproductive anatomy.
So I had my master's in reproductive anatomy. What was now also time for me to register for my PhD, and I said, okay, let me diverse a little. That was not enough for myself in neuroanatomy before I now met my PhD supervisor. That's the person of Dr. Adaze Enogiel.
Good.
At
this point in time, your wife had passed on?
Yeah, okay. I skipped that area. Yes, my wife passed on. I resumed work in Unibay in 2011.
Yes.
My wife passed on in 2013, 28 December to be precise.
Oh,
yeah, just barely 2 years. And in fact, it was during one of the ASU strikes. So it was not also an easy moment for me. So this is a woman. I've not even started receiving my salary, so to say.
Oh, dear.
This thing. The salary was not stable. They will pay this month before you get the other month. Is something that delay will have to come here and there. So she was still the one managing
the whole front.
Keeping the whole front, so to say. So it was not easy. So she passed on that year, and by this time around, we now have 3 children. Yeah, the eldest that we had in
yes, let's have the picture.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that's my wife. This is the
family picture.
Yeah, I have 3 children, and the 3 of them are boys.
Oh dear.
Yeah. The 3 of them are boys.
Anyone taking after you?
Yeah. The eldest one is now a medical doctor.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
that's the one at the back.
Yeah, he was just promoted to SS2 in UPSS, University Preparatory Secondary School, when my wife passed on.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
How did he take the shock?
You mean my son?
Yes.
Or myself?
No, your son.
My son. Oh, the house was turned upside down. It was not easy for all of us. It wasn't easy at all. When she passed on, before she was interred, it was not an easy experience for me and the children. We were just alone. It wasn't easy.
Yes.
The few days after she passed on, people were coming as usual. People as you see. So people were coming to sleep, to pass the night and all that. But I think the 5th day, I just told everybody that they should just leave me and the children alone. That this is a load I'm going to carry for the rest of my life.
Oh, dear.
So why the continuous sympathy? I don't believe in sympathy. So what you have to face, you don't need to start attracting people's sympathy and all that. So everybody stopped. So we're not left alone. Myself and the 3 children.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, I do the school run. I go to the market for shopping. I cook soup. They were still very young. I wash their uniform. I polish their school shoes. Everything in the house. I was the one in charge.
And yet the boy went across to study medicine.
Yes. Because I stood solidly behind them. I was always directed, and they didn't disappoint me.
Oh, dear.
Even to this very moment, it is what I tell them to do that they do.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So God really helped me with that, for giving me these good children who are listening. They listen to me, anything I tell them. But now that they have grown up, we relate as if we are friends, we are brothers and sisters. We hold meetings.
Really?
And we hold periodic meetings, yes. When there are issues in the house now, up to now, even a few days ago, we had meeting now. There are 3 of them. I would just say, oh boy, we'll get meeting today. We'll have something to discuss. Oh, daddy, fine.
Usually, what do you discuss?
If they have something in their mind, see, if they have something in their mind, they also tell me, daddy, I want to see you. I want us to discuss. I also go, fine. When do you want? I say maybe 30 minutes. 30 minutes. I must make myself available. Things are affecting them. Things are affecting the whole. What we have to do and all that. So they will discuss it.
In other words, you are not thinking of remarrying.
Oh no! I won't remarry. That's how many years ago now? It's not the 13th year that my wife passed on. No. People, a lot of family members, friends, have suggested to me to remarry. I said no. That I don't want to share my love. Of the love I have for the children, I don't want to share with another person, and that if I remarry, the love will be divided. I know my kind of person.
Yes.
I know my capacity, so I don't know how to pretend, and it has really hurt me. Up to now, I'm not remarried, and I don't think I will remarry.
Good.
Yes, I don't want to have children any longer. Maybe at my old age, when I'm very old, I'm retired by the grace of God. Maybe I'll just look for somebody who is in a menopause. I will not have any issue again.
Say that again.
Maybe when I'm old and I'm retired, a woman in the menopause that will not conceive again, because I don't want to have more children.
But you will end up marrying her anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But not for procreation. Just not for procreation, but just for companionship.
For companionship.
Exactly.
Yes, I can
not
understand.
for procreation at all.
I can understand.
No. Because my wife, an amazing, virtuous woman. I see. There's no day I don't think about her.
Absolutely.
No day. So I will hardly see a woman like her.
Yes, that's true.
I will hardly.
That's true. Are you a faithful believer in God?
Number one, I don't play with my God. Yeah. Because of the way I took my God is really happy. There's no day that I don't receive the favor of God. Because if I talk about my PhD a few minutes ago, it was God's favor.
Good.
This is a program some persons were listening to, and they will abandon it.
Oh yes.
Yeah, 10 years, 7 years, 6 years, it's still ongoing. But I got my PhD seamlessly because God brought my supervisor, my mentor, Dr. Adaze Enogie, to me. Within 4.5 years.
And there was a synergy.
Yes, there was synergy. Or even up to now. Up to now. We are still researching, further research. Up to now. Within 4.5 years, despite COVID lockdown and 8 months as we strike, I got my PhD. What I tell people that in Uniben for that matter.
Oh yes. Are you looking forward to your professorial chair?
Very by the grace of God. Any moment from now, maybe less than 2 years from now, because I just have my promotion as a senior lecturer. I'm a senior lecturer in the Department of Anatomy.
Good.
Yeah. To be precise, we now have a unit in the Department of Anatomy, neuroanatomy unit. That is where I am. That is where that is the unit of my supervisor, and in fact, he's the coordinator of that unit. So in 2 years from now, by His grace, and under the mentorship of my PhD supervisor, in less than 2 years, I will be an associate professor.
Associate professor.
Yes. Before you know, by the grace of God,
professor.
A professor.
Yes. From nowhere.
You can, I said how I started.
Yes.
How I started.
It's amazing. It's an amazing story.
Yeah,
it's an amazing story.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, you are in the Lord now.
I'm in the Lord.
Have you broken away completely from African traditional religion?
I wouldn't say completely, because most of our research is also centered on Africa, like herbs.
Herbs.
Yeah, yes. We use herb for our research most times. Yeah, so which is still part of African tradition.
Yes.
If I say this herb is good for the treatment of neuropsychiatric disorder, you see part of African tradition, because there are some traditionalists who also specialize in treatment of psychiatric disorders. So we are also into that. Like what is Alzheimer's disease, we research into it, that we see use herb. Only that the way we prepare our is different from the way the African tradition prepares their own. We have specific doses. I will carry out some tests, some investigation before we start the application. Yes.
Beautiful.
That's the difference.
Yes, that's right. Will you by chance say that you are a child of destiny?
Yes, exactly. Looking at it from how I started my life, I would say I'm a child of destiny. From nowhere, from the grass to grace.
Grass to grace.
Yes. I will consent to that.
There are many people out there as they're watching us.
Yes.
There are many people who do not have the verve. They don't have the vitality to do the kind of thing you have done.
Yes.
They are not long distance runners. What's your advice to them?
My advice to them, especially the youth of nowadays,
is
that first and foremost, before you do anything, put God first. God, you must always acknowledge in your life.
Good.
Because if not for God, I would not have even been living today, especially after my wife passed on. Sometimes when I sit down and I look back, since my wife passed on, I say that I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I say, this one is not my power. I'm not the one doing it.
Good.
It's God. It's the grace of God. So, in whatever you are doing, put God first, and you must be determined and set a goal for yourself. Like what I also said, I said right from my secondary school days, I was always my dream to read medicine. But I didn't get it the way it should go. I said when I left secondary school, I didn't pass my JAMB. Instead of me wasting time at home, I went to school of nursing. I graduated from school of nursing. There was no money. I saved some money. I went back to JAMB class. Sat down in JAMB class, received lectures.
With little kids?
With little kids, yeah. I didn't bother. So every you are there, I'm here, there on my own. Because I have a goal for myself and I'm going to pursue that goal and score a goal. So I sat for the JAMB and I passed. I started from 100 level, despite my double qualifications in nursing. I started from 100 level. And today, I'm now a medical doctor. Not just a medical doctor, but an anatomist, a senior lecturer, an assistant dean of School of Basic Medical Science, UNIBEN. It's all determination and resilience.
And resilience, yes.
Yeah, all determination and resilience and focus. So that is what is helping me.
Good.
And that is what I always tell my children. Be focused, be resilient, and above all, in whatever you are doing in life, you must be punctual. You must show features of punctuality. If you are not punctual in what you are doing, you will hardly succeed. If you are a student, you are always coming late or going late to classroom, you will not get it all. Then, if I fail exam in medical school, my medical school was not rosy as a family person. Then, when I had my first child, when I'm in the classroom, my wife would my late wife would just come and say, since you left the home, the baby will be spiking temperature, I'll be feverish. Whatever the lecturer is saying that time is passing behind me. Somebody called you that your child is sick. You say you still concentrate on what you are doing. It can't happen.
That's true.
So it won't happen.
Yeah,
in the moment I fail exam in the medical school, before you know, the following day, once the result is published, the following day, I'll go and buy new notes. I'll be the first person to go to the class to repeat the exam.
It was that tough.
Yeah, it was that tough. So I don't look at anybody. Say you want to shy away because you fail exam. No. I will go start receiving lecture again. Maybe after 3 months when they will now say the receipt exam is there. So me, I'm fully prepared. Once I write the receipt exam, I pass.
What you are telling the viewers now, is that what you tell your students?
Exactly, I tell them. Yeah, I tell them. So you hardly see anybody who pass to medical school without experiencing failure now.
Are you serious?
Yes, so you hardly pass through medical school say you didn't fail an exam. Even the younger one, don't talk of me that was already old in the medical school and with family responsibility. My immediate family and my extended family responsibility. No, I failed when I was in the medical school, so I can't hide it. I tell my students when I'm teaching them, I tell them, don't shy away from me. Don't shy away from your responsibility. No, if it is something you know that you want to do, you must continue. Don't look at anybody. You are there. You are here. You are there on your own. No, you are there on your own.
Dr. Demudia, we must not fail to ask you this question. Yes, as a neuropsychiatrist or an expert in neuroscience.
Yeah, neuroscience anatomy.
Good. Yeah. What is that disorder that is particularly common with our young people?
Well, from the trend of things now, is substance abuse. That is very common now, and is as eating deep into the societal value of our youth of nowadays.
Yes.
That made them to lose focus and even orientation. They don't even think beyond their
what substances do they abuse?
A lot now, a lot, very many. Those days we used to lay emphasis on the EGM and the cocaine, heroin, and so on and so forth. There is nothing the youth of nowadays cannot turn into abuse and so on and so forth. A lot, you will be surprised that it's very common now that you see them opening this vent from soak away. They go and put their nose and be inhaling it.
Really?
It's an intoxicant. Soak away. You don't soak away now.
Soak away,
yeah. They open the vent and just put their nose there. All sort of things.
Does that not border on insanity?
Yeah, all sort of things they do now. Anything they know that can intoxicate them, they do. They combine all sort of things together and they just smoke it or inhale it. All sorts of things. There's nothing they cannot do. In fact, the orientation in substance abuse is so wide that it's unimaginable.
How can it be controlled?
It's still this orientation. It's orientation. And in fact, like what I always say, once anybody is into substance abuse, we may talk of rehabilitation, counseling and all that. Except the person accept God, it's difficult. Go to Selu Psychiatric Hospital, even in the one we have here in Benin. Go to their rehab unit, rehabilitation unit. You see all of them there, below 18, below 16. They're out there. Start pumping medications into them, talking to them, psychotherapy, so on and so forth. But except they accept God, it's difficult.
These disorders, are they curable?
Well, the answer to that is 50-50. Because, I said that except they accept God, but it is difficult to win off somebody completely from substance abuse. If the person refuses to accept God, difficult from my own perspective, from the one I have seen. I told you I did psychiatric nursing before.
Yes.
Throughout my 3 years training in psychiatric hospital with Selu, I didn't see any patient that was into substance abuse, chronic substance abuse, that was eventually completely weaned off and stopped taking drugs, except the person accepts God. God is the ultimate, nothing. It's difficult. You see them when they have, after abusing the substance, they become very euphoric. Some of them are even delirious.
Yes, euphoria. Yes,
yeah, hallucination, right. Sort of things, and so on.
Delusion
and so
too.
Delusions, yeah, delusion. Hallucination, kind of hallucination, auditory, visual, tactile, so on and so forth. So it's difficult to win such person out of it, because that's chronic substance abuse. It's difficult. From my own perspective, so, I'm not a psychiatrist, but from what I've seen.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
From what I've seen.
So your advice is don't just go there.
Go there at all.
Yes.
And that is where most of our parents are also failing. As a parent nowadays, because Benin will say, according to Benin language, we say, because the children of nowadays, they are different from the way we were brought up.
Oh yes.
They are different. Those when I was growing up, I told you of my late uncle who brought me up. Once he blinks his eyes. But though he was a blind man.
Yeah, you will understand.
Yeah,
I
will decode what he's talking about.
Yes.
If somebody is telling me something and he hears, there's a way he will frown. I will notice it on his forehead. I will know that daddy is not in support of this thing. Yeah. I'll quickly step back. But children of nowadays, because of the way they are being brought up, they don't listen or they don't decode parental signs.
What of peer group influence?
Peer group influence, that's where I'm coming from. If you have a child, the child is grown up, you should be able to identify his peer group's influence. Do you understand what I'm saying, sir?
Yes.
You should be able to identify the peer group's influence. The peer groups I mean. So if you the father or the mother now know that, the character of that boy is not compatible with my own character, vis-a-vis my child's character, you should be able to talk to your child. There are things you will tell. When the child is growing up, when the child is almost graduated from secondary school, you don't be wasting time. That I told you that when I lost my wife, that these children, the eldest one was just promoted to SS2 or so. The other two were in primary school, and that we were together. We go together. When I'm leaving the house, I tell them where I'm going. Nobody comes to visit us, and they don't go for visit. No friends come to them. Nobody come to the house except the private teachers I employ for them, and I know when they are supposed to come because I have the timetable. And when they come, wherever I go, wherever I am, they call me. Our teacher is here. Okay, open the door for them. Friends don't come. When they were in primary school, that is the state they can easily be influenced. Secondary school level.
Yes.
Secondary school, primary 5, primary 6, they can easily be influenced. But if you are able to curtail them, you the parent are able to curtail them at that level. By the time they are enter university, you still continue like that in that manner. There's no way they will go astray. It's difficult. It's difficult. Not when they have been polluted.
Yes, that's the word, really.
Yes, not when they have been polluted. It's difficult. Yes, it's difficult.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We have gone the distance. I think we must let you go because you are very busy. As, you have your patients to look after today.
That's for my PP. I'm not into clinical practice, but I do PP.
Just to keep the body and soul together.
Exactly, to augment what I'm getting for as salary.
Very good.
I see do it.
Very good. Thank you very much. Yes, our guest has been Dr. Osagie Idemudia. He is the Assistant Dean, School of Basic Medical Science, University of Benin. I mean, he's gone through the crucible, as it were.
Exactly.
He's been mailed, but today he can tell a success story. Looking back from his background, he has risen from grass to grace.
Exactly.
So thank you very much for coming.
I appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, sir.
Thank you very
Thank
much
you, sir.
indeed.
Thank you very much, sir.
Next week we'll be back with another guest. My name is Emmanuel Legariba. All my love and prayers. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.